In a twist that no one saw coming, Stevie J just turned the entire love and hip-hop world upside down. After years of whispers, accusations, and emotional manipulation, Stevie finally walked into that meeting room holding a single manila envelope. And inside it was the DNA report that could destroy Joseline Hernandez's entire world. Cameras were rolling, tensions were sky high, and you could literally feel the air shift as Stevie's hand shook while opening the envelope. Joseline had been adamant for years that Bonnie Bella was his daughter, using that claim to pull at heartstrings, leverage sympathy, and stir chaos across multiple seasons. But tonight, all that came crashing down. Stevie didn't just bring the report, he brought proof, and the truth hit harder than anyone could have prepared for. When he looked Joseline dead in the eyes and said, "You lied to me. You lied to my daughter." Even the crew went silent. The room froze. Joseline's confident smirk evaporated, replaced with panic. And Bonnie Jordan, the woman caught in the middle of it all, stood speechless as her entire reality unraveled in front of her. This isn't just a DNA reveal. It's an emotional explosion that's exposing years of deceit, betrayal, and a shocking truth about Joseline that might end her career for good. Stay tuned, because this story only gets more explosive from here. The tension in the room was palpable. Cameras were set up, the crew was on edge, and everyone knew that tonight everything was about to change. Stevie J had been holding on to the truth for months, and now he had the one thing that could finally put an end to Joseline Hernandez's lies: the DNA report. It wasn't just a piece of paper. It was a revelation that could shatter relationships, expose deceit, and leave a trail of heartbreak in its wake. It all started years ago, when Joseline Hernandez claimed that Bonnie Jordan, a young woman with an uncertain past, was Stevie J's daughter. This claim had created a whirlwind of drama that spanned multiple seasons of Love and Hip Hop. Fans were captivated by the emotional roller coaster, watching Joseline manipulate situations, pull at hearts, and maintain control over a narrative that wasn't hers to control. But Stevie had never fully trusted Joseline's words, and for years he had quietly sought the truth. When the DNA report finally came back, it confirmed what he had suspected all along. Joseline had lied. Bonnie Jordan was not his daughter. The proof was undeniable, leaving no room for debate. And now, armed with the report, Stevie J was ready to confront Joseline face to face. As he entered the room, the atmosphere shifted. Joseline tried to mask her nervousness with a casual smile, but her eyes betrayed her. She could feel that something was off, and she didn't know if it was the crew, the cameras, or Stevie's unwavering gaze that unnerved her the most. Stevie didn't waste time. He held up the envelope, his hand steady, his voice calm but firm. "Joseline, we need to talk," he said. Joseline's confident demeanor faltered. She had always been in control, always the one pulling strings, always the center of attention. But tonight the tables had turned. Stevie J wasn't just confronting her, he was exposing her in front of everyone, and there was no way to escape the truth. The crew watched in silence as Stevie opened the envelope, carefully revealing the DNA report. Bonnie Jordan stood off to the side, unaware of the magnitude of what she was about to learn. Stevie looked at her, then back at Joseline and said, "This report proves everything. You lied. Bonnie is not my daughter." Joseline's reaction was immediate. Shock, anger, and panic all rolled into one. She tried to speak, but the words caught in her throat. She attempted to deflect, to twist the narrative, to salvage some semblance of control, but it was too late. The truth was out, and there was no turning back. The room was tense. Cameras captured every reaction, every subtle movement, every gasp and glance. Joseline's credibility had been built on manipulation and deception, and now it was crumbling before her eyes. For years, she had created a story that benefited her, a story that made her appear sympathetic and protective. But the DNA report revealed the harsh reality. She had used the claim to manipulate Stevie and everyone around her. Bonnie Jordan's reaction was a mix of confusion and relief. She had always been caught in the middle of the drama, unsure of her place, unsure of the truth. Now she had clarity. She wasn't Stevie J's daughter, but she was finally free from the web of lies that had entangled her life. The emotional weight of the revelation was immense, and everyone in the room could feel it. Stevie J remained composed, his demeanor calm but resolute. He had waited for this moment, had gathered the evidence, and was now delivering justice in the only way he could, by confronting the lies head-on. "Joseline, I trusted you," he said, "and you took advantage of that trust. You lied to me, to Bonnie, and to everyone watching. This ends now." Joseline's attempts to defend herself were feeble. She tried to argue, to justify her actions, to make excuses, but Stevie was unmoved. The evidence was undeniable, the truth undeniable, and the impact undeniable. The room held its collective breath as the confrontation unfolded, knowing that the fallout from this moment would be felt for years to come. Fans watching from home were in shock. Social media exploded with reactions, theories, and debates. Some were sympathetic to Joseline, claiming that she was under pressure and acting out of fear. Others were outraged, condemning her manipulation and deception. The revelation sparked a firestorm, making headlines and trending across platforms within hours. But the real story wasn't just about Joseline's lies. It was about the emotional damage she had caused. Stevie J had been manipulated, Bonnie had been caught in the middle, and the audience had been misled for years. The DNA report wasn't just a piece of paper. It was a symbol of truth, accountability, and the consequences of deceit. As the confrontation ended, Stevie J handed the report to Bonnie, allowing her to see the proof for herself. The moment was poignant, emotional, and life-changing. Bonnie finally had answers, and Stevie had delivered justice in the most public way possible. Joseline, on the other hand, was left to face the consequences of her actions, a reality that would affect her personal life, her career, and her reputation. This explosive confrontation marked a turning point in love and hip-hop history. It wasn't just drama for entertainment, it was a real emotional reckoning. Joseline Hernandez had been exposed, Stevie J had taken a stand, and Bonnie Jordan had finally discovered the truth. The fallout from this moment would ripple across the industry, changing relationships, alliances, and the way fans perceived the cast forever. The aftermath of Stevie J's confrontation with Joseline Hernandez was nothing short of explosive. The DNA report had shifted the balance of power, exposing lies that had long been hidden behind manipulations and half-truths. But this wasn't just about a single lie. It was about years of emotional games, betrayal, and controlling behavior that had affected everyone involved, especially Bonnie Jordan. In the days following the revelation, backstage discussions on love and hip-hop were tense. Cast members whispered in corners, unsure of what to say or how to act. Many had suspected Joseline's manipulations for years, but seeing them confirmed so publicly brought a new level of shock. Some tried to defend her, saying she was under pressure and acting out of fear. Others didn't hesitate to call her out, accusing her of being deceitful and reckless, particularly toward Bonnie and Stevie. Bonnie herself struggled to process the truth. For years, she had been caught between two powerful personalities: Stevie, who had been a father figure in her life, and Joseline, whose claims had dictated so much of her personal narrative. Now, armed with the DNA report, Bonnie had clarity, but clarity brought its own set of challenges. She had to navigate her emotions, the public scrutiny, and the shifting dynamics with Stevie, all while dealing with the betrayal that Joseline had orchestrated. Stevie J, meanwhile, faced a different type of pressure. Exposing Joseline's lies so publicly put him in the center of media attention, not just as a victim of manipulation, but as a decisive figure taking a stand. Industry insiders noted how rare it was for someone to confront deceit so openly, especially in a world where privacy and image management are paramount. By holding Joseline accountable in front of cameras, Stevie sent a clear message: dishonesty would no longer go unchecked. The episode also ignited a social media storm. Fans reacted in real time, dissecting every reaction, every tear, and every statement. Twitter threads exploded with heated debates about who was right, who was wrong, and the ethical responsibilities of reality TV stars. Some users praised Stevie J for his bravery, while others criticized the public nature of the confrontation, arguing that private family matters should stay private. Regardless, the story dominated conversations, trending across multiple platforms. In addition to fan reactions, the revelation impacted the dynamics within the Love and Hip Hop cast. Joseline's credibility suffered significantly, altering her influence among peers. Many cast members who had previously aligned with her or remained neutral began questioning her motives and loyalty. Friendships fractured, alliances shifted, and power structures within the show were disrupted. Reality TV, after all, is as much about social positioning as it is about personal drama. And this revelation upended years of calculated relationships. Meanwhile, Stevie J and Bonnie began rebuilding their relationship. The DNA report, while shocking, provided an opportunity for honesty and transparency. Stevie was determined to establish trust, emphasizing that the truth, though painful, was ultimately liberating. He encouraged Bonnie to speak openly about her feelings, validating her experience and empowering her to take control of her own narrative. This shift allowed Bonnie to redefine her identity, independent of the manipulations that had previously controlled her life. However, the ripple effects didn't stop there. Joseline Hernandez found herself under intense scrutiny from producers, media outlets, and fans alike. Her previous accomplishments were now viewed through the lens of deception, and she faced difficult questions about her ethics, intentions, and the impact of her lies on others. Even outside of the show, her public image suffered, as media coverage painted a picture of someone willing to manipulate personal relationships for attention and gain. The confrontation also sparked conversations about the broader implications of reality TV drama. Many commentators highlighted how the pursuit of ratings and attention can create environments where deceit thrives. Joseline's actions were a stark reminder of the emotional toll of such manipulations, not just on the individuals directly involved, but on the broader cast, crew, and audience. For many, the DNA reveal was more than a shocking plot twist. It was a cautionary tale about honesty, responsibility, and the consequences of deceit. In the aftermath, Stevie J remained composed and focused on moving forward. While the confrontation had been intense, he used it as a turning point to assert boundaries and advocate for truth. He continued to publicly support Bonnie, emphasizing the importance of transparency, respect, and personal accountability. This stance resonated with fans, who praised him for taking decisive action while maintaining dignity and integrity. Joseline, on the other hand, faced a more challenging path. Rebuilding trust and credibility after such a public exposure would require significant effort, self-reflection, and consistent accountability. Industry insiders noted that while some reality TV figures can recover from public scandal, the stakes were particularly high in this case due to the deeply personal nature of the lie and the emotional fallout. The DNA report not only revealed the truth about Bonnie's parentage, but it also highlighted the importance of transparency in relationships, both personal and professional. For the audience, it served as a powerful reminder that reality TV, while entertaining, often masks complex human dynamics and ethical dilemmas. Stevie J's decision to confront Joseline openly demonstrated the value of confronting dishonesty head-on, rather than allowing manipulation to continue unchecked. As the dust settled, conversations shifted toward the lessons learned from this dramatic confrontation. Fans reflected on the emotional intelligence required to navigate such situations, the courage it takes to demand truth, and the resilience needed to recover from betrayal. Bonnie's newfound clarity allowed her to reclaim her story. Stevie J's assertive approach set a precedent for accountability, and Joseline Hernandez's public reckoning became a cautionary tale for others in the reality TV space. Ultimately, the DNA report's revelation reshaped the narrative for everyone involved. It emphasized that truth, though painful, is a powerful tool for personal growth and accountability. It also reminded audiences that behind the drama of reality television, real emotions and consequences exist, and that honesty and integrity are essential for navigating both public and private relationships. The fallout from Stevie J's confrontation with Joseline Hernandez continued. The emotional weight of the situation became impossible to ignore. Bonnie Jordan, now armed with the truth about her parentage, began processing years of confusion and emotional manipulation. For her, the DNA report wasn't just a piece of paper. It was a key to freedom, clarity, and a chance to rebuild her life outside of Joseline's web of lies. Stevie J, meanwhile, was navigating the complex balance of being both a father figure and a public figure. He knew that the confrontation, while necessary, had public implications that would continue to resonate long after the cameras stopped rolling. Every move he made would be scrutinized, every word he spoke dissected by fans and media alike. But Stevie remained committed to one thing: honesty. He understood that for Bonnie to heal and for the truth to prevail, he had to stand firm even in the face of public judgment. Joseline's response was a mix of desperation and defiance. She tried to explain her actions, claiming that her behavior stemmed from fear, insecurity, and years of being under pressure to maintain her persona on Love and Hip Hop. She argued that her lies were meant to protect herself and maintain her relevance, but her explanations only fueled the fire. Producers, cast members, and fans were increasingly skeptical, and social media erupted with debates about her integrity. The confrontation also had ripple effects across the love and hip-hop universe. Cast members who had once supported or aligned with Joseline began distancing themselves, realizing that her manipulations could jeopardize their own reputations. Alliances shifted, friendships fractured, and the power dynamics on the show were irrevocably altered. What had started as a personal revelation had evolved into a major turning point for the entire series. Bonnie, though initially overwhelmed by the truth, began to embrace a newfound sense of empowerment. With Stevie's support, she started reclaiming her narrative, asserting her voice in interviews and social media posts. She shared her experiences candidly, explaining how the lies had impacted her sense of identity and her relationships. Her bravery in facing the truth resonated with fans, many of whom praised her honesty and strength in navigating a complicated and emotionally charged situation. Stevie J also used the opportunity to address the broader implications of deception, manipulation, and accountability. In interviews and public statements, he emphasized the importance of confronting dishonesty, setting boundaries, and fostering transparency in relationships. His approach was measured yet firm, signaling to viewers that integrity and truth are non-negotiable, even in the chaotic world of reality television. Joseline Hernandez, on the other hand, faced significant consequences. Producers reportedly re-evaluated her role on the show, questioning her credibility and the authenticity of her previous storylines. Social media backlash intensified, with fans criticizing her for the emotional harm she had caused and questioning whether she could regain public trust. Her reputation, carefully cultivated over years, was now under intense scrutiny. Despite the chaos, the confrontation also highlighted the resilience of those affected. Bonnie's journey, from confusion to clarity, underscored the power of truth in overcoming manipulation. Stevie J's decision to confront Joseline directly demonstrated courage and accountability, showing that facing difficult truths head-on is essential for resolving long-standing conflicts. The dramatic events also sparked broader discussions about the ethics of reality television. Critics argued that shows like Love and Hip Hop often create environments where manipulation and deception thrive, blurring the lines between entertainment and personal harm. Joseline's actions became a case study in how power dynamics, public perception, and personal ambition can intersect, sometimes at the expense of honesty and integrity. As the story continued to unfold, Bonnie and Stevie began working on rebuilding trust and establishing a stronger, more transparent relationship. Conversations that were once fraught with uncertainty and doubt now centered on communication, honesty, and mutual respect. Bonnie's emotional growth became a central narrative, inspiring viewers who had followed her journey from the shadows of manipulation to the light of truth. Meanwhile, Joseline faced ongoing challenges in repairing her public image. Attempts to explain or justify her actions were met with skepticism, and the long-term impact on her career remained uncertain. The confrontation had revealed vulnerabilities, both personal and professional, that could not easily be undone. For her, this was a pivotal moment, one that would define her future in the reality television industry and beyond. Social media continued to buzz with reactions. Fans debated the morality of Joseline's actions, the fairness of public exposure, and the responsibilities of reality TV stars to those around them. Many expressed admiration for Stevie J's courage and Bonnie's resilience, while others discussed the broader implications of honesty, accountability, and emotional integrity in high-pressure, high-visibility environments. Producers also took note. The confrontation provided compelling content, but it also raised ethical questions about the role of reality television in exacerbating personal conflicts. Internal discussions reportedly focused on how to handle sensitive information responsibly while maintaining audience engagement, highlighting the delicate balance between entertainment and emotional impact. In the weeks that followed, the dynamics between the three individuals continued to evolve. Bonnie focused on her personal growth, establishing boundaries and asserting her independence. Stevie J prioritized transparency and accountability, reinforcing his commitment to integrity in both personal and public spheres. Joseline Hernandez faced the consequences of her actions, navigating the complex process of rebuilding trust and credibility. The episode marked a significant turning point for Love and Hip Hop. It underscored the emotional stakes of the series, the real-life impact of deception, and the importance of confronting dishonesty directly. For viewers, it offered a powerful reminder that truth, though often difficult to face, is essential for personal growth and healthy relationships. By the end of the confrontation, it was clear that the DNA report was more than just a revelation. It was a catalyst for change. It forced all parties involved to confront the realities of their actions, reassess their relationships, and make difficult decisions about trust, integrity, and accountability. The impact of the confrontation would continue to resonate across the show, shaping storylines, character development, and audience perception for seasons to come. Bonnie's empowerment, Stevie J's decisive action, and Joseline's reckoning created a narrative that transcended entertainment, offering lessons in honesty, courage, and the complex nature of human relationships. Ultimately, the DNA report not only exposed a lie, but also illuminated the power of truth to transform lives. It reminded viewers that while deception may provide temporary advantage, honesty and integrity are the foundations upon which lasting relationships and genuine respect are built. If you thought reality TV drama was just entertainment, think again. Tonight's confrontation proves that the stakes are far higher than most people realize. Stevie J's courage in confronting Joseline Hernandez over the DNA report not only exposed years of lies, but also showed the power of honesty, accountability, and truth in even the most chaotic situations. Bonnie Jordan's journey from confusion and manipulation to clarity and empowerment is a reminder that knowledge is power. When the truth comes to light, it has the ability to free you from deceit, strengthen relationships, and reshape your narrative entirely. For fans, this moment is more than just drama. It's a lesson in resilience, personal growth, and the importance of standing up for what's right. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, like this video, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates on this explosive story. From behind-the-scenes confrontations to jaw-dropping revelations, we'll bring you the full breakdown of everything happening in the love and hip-hop universe, the real stories that the cameras only hint at. This is VVIP Celeb, where drama meets truth, and we go deeper than the headlines. Trust me, you won't want to miss what happens next in this shocking saga. The lies are exposed, the fallout is real, and the next chapter is going to be even more explosive.